Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the beginning of round 5 of the City State Championships. Yes, round 5, definitely. And with me, as always, Super Naked Zombie.
Hello.
It pains me every time to say that name, but I can't do this alone anymore. I don't think I could. Either way, round 5, game 1, we see Demacia taking on Piltover. On the Demacian. What?
Well remembered.
Yeah, I have the brain of a sieve, or a squid, or something. Anyway, in the Demacian team, deciding to run Quinn into the AD carry role. They had success in the mid lane, trying to recreate that down at bottom lane. Xin Zhao going back into the jungle for them, picked up some wins before for them. Lux going into the mid lane. They've had success and failure with that one. Will this be a good game or a bad game? And Garen going to the top lane. Only appeared once before for Demacia and lost to a Darius, unfortunately. Meanwhile, Sona returns to the bottom lane to support Quinn.
Yeah, and on the other team, we've got a Thyde in the jungle. We've got a Zilean in the mid lane. We've got Jayce up against the Garen top. Caitlyn, AD carry bottom. And Janna playing support.
Yep. And round 5, all teams have played 4 games now, and there is a 4-way tie at the top of the league, with 4 teams sitting at 3 wins and 1 loss. A win for any of those teams will put them in pretty good position to qualify for the playoffs and the finals, whatever we're calling it. I'll think of a word closer to the time. And these 2 teams are part of that 4-way tie. Demacia and Piltover both suffered losses in the first round, but since then have won all of their games, so sit at 3-1. Demacia lost to Noxus and Piltover to Freljord, who are the other 2 teams that sit at 3-1. But out of these 2 teams today, one of them will have to win this game, and they will beat Freljord's current record of 3 wins and 0 losses.
Yeah, and the other team, just as importantly, will have their winning streak broken and be far less likely to go through to the next round.
Far less likely. They'll be 3-2. They're still in a better position than Ionia. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, they're still in a very good position, but it's not the cemented, the solid position that the other team will have.
No, but yeah, we've got some interesting lanes here. We've got Vi going into the jungle again, obviously, and Xin Zhao. The junglers both seen here before, and they've both worked out. A
lot of damage going down on Lux mid already.
Oh, yep, I missed that. We'll have to watch that one out here. And I can't remember. Yeah, we've seen Zilean before for Piltover, I'm pretty sure. I think that may have been in their round 1 loss. I can't remember if he's been in their team again since, but...
Yeah, a lot of damage going down on the pair bottom as well. That Quinn and that Sona, not down to half health, but definitely taking
damage, and the level 2 advantage goes to the purple team. The knock up there, very aggressive play from Janna. Yep. Caitlyn trying to come in and follow it up, gets the 1 poke down, and Quinn is taken low. She's gonna have to pop that pot if she wants to stay in this, as Sona does not have her heal yet, and they're a minion away from 2.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking before the match about how...
Oh god, Sona's taking a lot of damage. She gets knocked up as well. Caitlyn coming in. Piltover flashed away from by Sona, so good job there. She doesn't give up the first blood. Yeah, flash in there, and the headshot secures first blood. So well played by Caitlyn and Janna there, pushing their advantage.
The match about how Caitlyn has a serious range advantage over Quinn.
Yep, there's a gank coming in top though. Vi getting in behind Garen, and they're going in onto him. He's trying to spin away. He's down to half health. The ignite has gone down. No, it has not gone down, and flash away under the turret, and Garen gets away. So Piltover putting themselves forward across the map here, trying to make some plays. And
yeah, I think Piltover have the slightly better team out of this pair. The Caitlyn has a lot of advantages bottom. The Janna is arguably the slightly better support. We do have a Xin coming in behind the bottom pair here.
Yep, he's going to get the knock up maybe. The Q, which is just going to miss. You get the exhaust down onto Xin Zhao, and they try to get the Piltover to connect, but they just can't. Sona now returning to lane, and not even able to get, not able to get a summoner out of Caitlyn there. Sona going to go in and try and do the old 1v1 thing, but she's going to get herself knocked up as Caitlyn is taking a lot of damage in the background there, but so is Sona, and they can't afford to trade this badly for them. They got in onto Janna though, forcing the flash away. This is crazy bottom lane going on here. Xin Zhao's also rotated back in. Sona's come in, and that's going to be another kill down onto her, but it's going to be the kill down onto Caitlyn in return, so...
I don't think that was quite worth it for the Caitlyn there. It's surprising that everyone stayed on so little health, especially with the full health Sona there, and the Xin Zhao hanging around. Yeah, I wonder if they were expecting the Void to come in a little bit earlier then.
It's sort of a double-edged sword of, like, when something bad happens to you in your lane that early, or like you go down at level 1 like it did to Sona there, they want to fight back about that. Like, they don't want to just let themselves get bullied and denied CS from the Caitlyn, who's obviously going to come back with an item advantage. She's come back with a pickaxe now, and yeah, Quinn's not going to be able to afford that. She picks up a longsword, so she's not doing the double Dorans, I'm losing lane build.
No, I mean, I prefer going for a longsword. It builds better, it's just slightly less.
Yeah, you could do something with it later. It may not give you...
You've already got the passive benefit of one Doran's Blade. A second Doran's Blade isn't quite as good as the first one.
No, you don't get quite the battle stats, but it puts you into a better position in the future. And we see Zilean continuing to harass with the bombs here. Lux using her shield to get the mitigate the damage down there. But yeah, all the action down bottom lane at the moment. Xin Zhao's come out with the kill there. Funnily enough though, the awkward thing about that was there's 2 deaths onto Sona now and 1 assist with the Caitlyn kill she helped on. But Quinn didn't get any of that, so Quinn didn't get any additional gold from that extra aggression. Caitlyn did. This puts Quinn even further behind, and like you were trying to say earlier, Caitlyn is better than Quinn generally.
Yeah, I mean, these bottom lanes, the Caitlyn's definitely an advantage just because of the range. You can almost discount all of the other abilities, all of the other skill shots, because a range advantage on an AD carry is just that much of a difference. We were talking about the supports as well.
Top lane though, they've got in onto Xin Zhao, who tried to come into the top lane. He does a good play going back in onto Jayce, but he's taking too much damage, caught in between both of them and he's gonna die. Garen's there, but he's not level 6 yet. The small gank earlier making a level advantage in favour of Piltover, and they're able to force him away under tower as well. So Xin Zhao getting caught out there.
Yeah, we were saying that Jayce is going to have a much easier time top than the Garen. You know, having a ranged top against
that gank just helps
a melee
as well.
top. Oh yeah, I mean his jungler's giving him that Vi is going up there a lot more than the Xin is. They had that early.
To be fair, Xin tried to go up there and died. Oh, Quinn taking a lot of damage down bottom as well, and Caitlyn putting the damage down onto it. And this, I'm loving this Janna play. It's very aggressive, getting in there really close, using that tornado, knocking them up, and Caitlyn's always ready with the Piltover Peacemakers to follow up, and there is not enough mana and sustain on Sona at this point to keep them alive. And
I'm surprised that Janna's doing so well for mana. Usually, you know, Janna's can burn through their mana very quickly, but I think she's being quite careful with when she throws out her Howling Gale, not wasting too many shields, and I haven't seen her use Zephyr yet, which is, you know, almost pointless at this stage of the game.
Yep, I mean, she's not using it. She doesn't have to waste it defensively and stuff. All of it is going in onto aggression. She's got the Nomad's Medallion level 2 as well, which gives her a nice little bit of mana regeneration anyway, compared to the Ancient Coin. Oh shit, I'm terrible with the camera. Quinn flashing backwards next to the tower. The ultimate goes straight off onto Sona at point blank range in the auto attack from Janna. Or the Whirlwind picked it up, but this is bad. I wasn't sure about the Quinn pick. They have a strong AD carry. They have 2 other very strong AD carries in Vayne and Lucian. But to go for the Quinn, like, Quinn works in some lanes, but when you know when you're fighting Piltover, you've got a Caitlyn or an Ezreal that's going to be the AD carry.
Yeah,
and I wouldn't rate Quinn against either of those. No. So, like, Vayne, Vayne maybe have as many early problems, but the great thing is Vayne can go behind early, and you just get her some farm and hold on for long enough, she'll scale up and she'll just wreck the faces of everyone. Or better yet, just go for Lucian. Yeah, or just go for Lucian, who just kills everything anyway. Like, Lucian just wins.
Yeah,
like, we haven't seen Demacia use Lucian at all, and I find that surprising. I might have to go double check that I actually put him on the list. We see a gank here coming in onto Zilean, but he will have his ultimate. Oh, but he doesn't get it down in time, flashes and doesn't dodge the ultimate, so good kill from Lux.
Very quick ultimate out of the Lux there.
Sparrow Legs not hindered at all on this character by his Sparrow Legs. Meanwhile, there's a little bit of fighting going on top. Garen's picked up a Doran shield, which is good against Jayce, and he's got a few other items there, a Ruby Crystal and a long sword as well, so he's sustaining well through this damage. It doesn't seem like Jayce is harassing him that much. He's got a tier which has only got 23 stacked off onto it, so he must have very recently picked that up.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, from Zilean, part of the problem he may have had in that past engagement is that he's gone 5 Doran Rings boots. That gives him a lot of immediate power right now, probably more than we're seeing from a Sheen Amp Tome from Lux. But I don't know if it's going to transition well. We'll have to see.
This Sona is face blocking a lot of these Caitlyn ults, and it's spectacular how much damage
she is level 4. She is 2 levels behind the enemy. She cannot afford to fight or trade at all. Knockback there from Janna, not helping, and the Piltover misses a response there. So the first bad play out of Janna thus far. Wow, Lux has teleported in behind and just casually walks past the Janna, tries to throw out the binding, it doesn't connect.
Nearby as well though.
Yeah, but we see Vi go over, she connects with them, she gets the ultimate down onto Sona underneath the tower, but will she take too much damage? Quinn has ulted and...
Oh, Caitlyn's way out of position.
But she picks up the kill onto Lux nonetheless, and that's the only kill they get. A 2-for-1 trade for Piltover underneath the enemy's tower. So, the last 3 games, Piltover have had the quickest victories of the CSC so far. They are a dangerous, dangerous team if they get rolling. They have strong early lanes, and if they get an advantage, they're able to just push it through. The poke from Jayce, Caitlyn, and Zilean will be too much. They'll be kept safe by Janna and Zilean, and Vi will give them any engagement that they want to take. So
we're seeing a lot of damage down on this Garen top. Thyde just catches him out there. He was spinning on that Jayce hard, and he used his ultimate on the Jayce, but it just wasn't enough damage, and
maybe a little bit too much, a little bit too early. But
yeah,
I found that hilarious that they'd both gone like opposite ways. They both had their flashes up, so I doubt if Garen had flashed he would have been able to make up the damage he needed to, but well played by Jayce there, and Garen takes his first death but picks up some armor and responds. And this is good for Jayce, because a fight like that at the moment, Jayce isn't really built for. He's only got a Vamp and a Doran's Blade and a Tear. Like, the Tear doesn't give him much combat stats at all. Like, mana, like you either have enough or you don't have enough in a fight.
Yeah.
So he's not his strongest yet, and the fact that he can win those one-on-ones with Garen, good for him.
Yeah. No, I think he's a massive advantage up that top lane. I think the Garen's going to struggle to get tanky enough to take him out. To go toe-to-toe with him unless he gets some serious gold. Interesting, we see them really nail this Quinn bottom.
Yeah,
and Sona misses face-checking the...
Face-checking? Face-checking?
Face-checking the ult. Alright, not the technical term, but she took it to the face.
But there goes the first tower of the game in favour of Piltover, and we do see them now over a 4k lead already, 12 minutes in. This is bad news for Demacia. I mean, they're the only team to make a significant comeback so far against the Shadow Isles in their second round match, but 4k this early on, it's 4 deaths, 4k a tower, it's a lot to make up for it, and none of their other lanes are really shining either.
I think Piltover have the slightly better team, and they've managed to get an early lead as well. So I think Demacia are really going to struggle to come back from this.
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't be unheard of. In the late game, champions all sort of rise and fall a bit, but I think they're going to struggle.
Yeah. It's not particularly as if... I don't feel many of the Demacian champions get significantly strong enough in the late game. I especially don't think Quinn scales up that well. She is not a great team fighting champion. She's a good skirmisher, but they don't want to skirmish at all, as we do see Piltover capitalising on their lead to go for that dragon. Caitlyn's round the back. Oh, not able to pick that up on Lux, and she's got a Caitlyn right on top of her. Piltover coming across, they're knocking him up, and one more to attack will pick it up.
It's a very nice kill on the Lux.
Yep, good follow-up by Janna again. This Caitlyn Janna have a wonderful synergy thus far. One of the best bottom lanes we've seen playing thus far in this.
Yeah, they're playing. I don't know, they're playing aggressively, but also quite safely. You know, the Janna has.
I don't know. Flashing behind a tower, would you call that safe? I don't think this Caitlyn's playing safe. She knows she's got a lead, and she doesn't care right now. She will just happily push on, and she is keeping people low constantly, utilising her headshot passive nicely. Pretty stale top lane. We see damage going back on both of them, and they're farming. Jayce has got a little bit of a lead up there, but not a hell of a lot. Where did Jayce get a second kill? Oh, Xin Zhao when he visited the top lane. That would explain that one. Yes. Knock up from Janna again from the bush. And the ultimate coming there through. Garen's died top lane. Janna goes down. Caitlyn's taking a lot of damage, and the execute damage is enough, but those go on to Xin Zhao, and that isn't what they want right now. 3-1 Xin Zhao, that's not bad, but it's also not good. He's going to struggle to engage on this team of primarily ranged champions who are very good at kiting and disengaging.
Yeah, they need to get the kills onto the Quinn. They need to get the Quinn caught up and not the Xin.
Yeah, or the Lux. Like, one strong Lux could turn the tide. Mid tower getting taken extremely low. Binding goes down onto Zilean though. Bombs are coming back in response and doing a lot of damage. Jesus! He's picked up a needlessly large rod.
Crippling this Lux. It's making it really difficult for her to play.
Yeah.
And she's having to play really carefully. Like, even now, though the Zin's gone in, if a bomb gets laid down on Sona... sorry,
oh
Lux.
My god, Lux is dead. Just dead.
Look at that.
The bomb goes down onto her from Zilean, and it's It's
And in
too
that
much.
situation,
Goal
you
from
should-
Garen, bam, down onto Vi. So
Yeah, in that situation, they want to be able to go in on a low Zilean, you know. Alright, he's got his ult, but they want to be able to engage when they've got a gank. And even though he was at almost half health then, he just couldn't.
yeah, he has a lot of AP. He's got 179 compared to the 137, so he's got almost 40 more AP. We do see Zilean going hard in onto that one. He doesn't manage to pick up the kill. Nope, there is no bomb on Garen, and he goes down for that one. So playing very aggressively as Zilean seems quite strong, but without his ultimate, he is a much less fearsome
It
beast.
looked like he tried to lay down a bomb and an ignite on
Garen.
Garen, and I don't think he got the bomb off. He's actually chatting right now in the old chat, surprised that Garen didn't die, and I don't know if there was maybe a barrier there I didn't see, or if the bomb just missed. Didn't get laid down on the Garen.
They're constantly trying to fight and trying to catch out this Caitlyn down bottom here, but they're not doing it the right way. They can't come from the front. Janna will disengage too well. She will provide the cover.
This Garen is sneaking around though.
Yeah, but because he spent so much time other places, they lost the tower top as well. So there's a 2-turret lead now to Piltover, and they're trying their best. They're trying their best, Demacia, to come back in this one, but everything they try, it just seems very well countered by Piltover at this point. Partly because Caitlyn's so far ahead and Janna's just almost unengageable on, and also because champions like Jayce, once they have a lead, they're very hard to stop because they can just poke down, and he's gone for a Bloodthirster first as well, not opting for the more common brutalizers for cooldown reduction and armor pen, or last whispers for the just really good armor penetration percent value. But
yeah, I mean, I think he's realizing that he's going to be out of lane. If he was just against that Garen, I think he would have bought slightly more armor pen. But seeing as he's winding up fighting the Xin, who at the moment, I don't think the Xin has any armor at the moment, does he?
oh, bindings missed from Lux down bottom as we see a 4-on-4 fight starting. We do see Zilean coming in. They get the bomb down onto Lux, and she is gone with the Vi ultimate as well. And not bad, Sona ultimate comes across. They've got the Zilean ult down onto Vi, and a lot of damage getting laid onto Sona there, but no one is really going low apart from Vi, and Caitlyn is just able to push in onto that turret, and Zilean will happily bomb anyone who comes too close at this point, and they will take damage. And a lot of it. And Piltover are looking set for their 4th win here. After getting annihilated in their first round game versus Freljord, they come back and looks like they could beat their record. 4 wins straight on the trot. Demacia are in dire situation here and need something soon to do it. Odd, and another thing odd part of the Zilean build we're seeing, Scrying Orb picked up by him. Never see that trinket, ever.
Yeah, I mean, it's a slightly odd one. It's too long of a cooldown to make it really useful, isn't it? You know, you want to be able to use it to check Dragon and check Baron, but at a 2-minute cooldown, it's almost useless.
Yeah. Oh, Lux trying to snipe out the Jayce there. He got himself quite out on top lane against Garen and Xin Zhao. Flashed late because of the silence from Garen, and eventually spent a little bit too much time in the jungle and got rounded on by Garen. So unfortunate there for him. Binding again, missed by Lux here. Turret's very low, she might just have to give that one up.
Yeah, I think we're going to see the tower go.
Yep.
There it goes.
So that's all the outer turrets gone now, and Dragon's coming up in 40 seconds. Will Piltover have the presence of mind to ward and take it? We'll see. We haven't seen great objective control in the terms of Baron and Dragon from teams.
It's interesting. We're not seeing Piltover push down one lane. We're seeing them win across the board. They've taken one tower in each lane, and they're distinctly winning every single lane.
This is just what they've done every time. It's what last time Jayce played for them, he played against a Vladimir top, I want to say, and he just nailed him one-on-one constantly and just pushed incessantly. Got to that like inhibitor turret at a stupidly early time as we see Garen running after someone in the mid lane, but Zilean speed, they're willing to turn and fight this one. They've got Sona support, but she isn't really offering much, and Sona's being closed on from behind. That's a red buff Caitlyn. Sona, you are dead, girl. Well, she gets the exhaust down, but it's not going to be enough. Janna trying to get in behind. Ult comes down, and Lux just survives there. Vi does go down in the back to the Quinn there, as Janna also goes down to Xin Zhao, but Xin Zhao dies. Nope, not Xin Zhao. Garen dies.
He might get the kill, yeah, because the Caitlyn's there as well.
And she flashes in, gets the slowdown, but misses the Piltover Peacemaker, unfortunately, so that turns into a 2-for-2 trade there. That's not terrible for Demacia at this point.
No, but it seems like it favoured Piltover. They're now in a position to take more towers.
Oh, yeah.
They've got the Jayce.
They definitely came out on top. Like, they had the higher health champions, and they will take the objective afterwards, but a 2-for-2 trade. Like, they could have easily just been ace straight up there to Demacia and lost an inhibitor, so there's fight in them yet if they can do it. I think like I said, Quinn is a skirmisher, and I think overall just their team will benefit at this point from non-grouped team fights. If there's like 5-on-5, they'll just get kited around as a team and worn down with the AoE of bombs and shock blasts and peacemakers. Whereas if they skirmish, they can maybe outplay their enemies, utilize some of their kit better to fight.
Yeah, I mean, they're really relying on Lux to hit a binding, and then for Xin and Garen to follow up on that.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Sona's not going to be able to get in there. So, I mean, Sona could flash ult, but that's not the best use of her ult.
So we see Quinn there miss her blind, and Caitlyn happy to just go aggressive onto it, but finds herself surrounded by 3 champions now, and that's a lot of damage, and she goes dead. Caitlyn's over-aggression sort of coming to bite her back now.
Yeah,
that's a nice missed ward from Sparrowlegs.
To save her up, but we are seeing this Jayce push top quite hard and no one coming up to count him. I reckon he might take this tower if this Garen doesn't make his way very quickly up to top.
The Garen should make it in time, I feel. I'm still seeing not a little bit of an odder build coming out from the Jayce, but it's sort of working out for him there. He's still very terrifying. Zilean has completed his death cap now and has almost 300 AP to his name, so Lichbane onto Lux. Lichbane after receiving his nerfs, I don't like that as much against Lux. It synergizes well with her passive anyway, but I don't know if he really wants to be getting in range. Another misbinding, and the ult comes down from Garen, so Jayce overstaying his welcome at top there and getting himself killed because of it.
Yeah, interesting, the kill difference is being made up quite a bit by those 2 kills. Just by that Caitlyn and that Jayce being caught well out of position. Yeah, they were both very deep in enemy lanes when they got caught out then.
And I think this
no other people around them.
I think this comes back to what you were saying, where the Piltover are just happy to push down all 3 lanes at once. And like I said, the best chance for Demacia is to catch them out in small fights, or just get pick-offs with 3v1 fights, which is even better than fighting 3v3 or 2v2, so that's working out for them.
I mean, you can't help but think that Piltover, if they barreled down one lane, would have a lot more success than sending one guy here, one guy there to try and split push.
Very possibly, yeah, but the power gets into your head here. I mean, Caitlyn's walking around with an Infinity Edge. Like, who goes Infinity Edge first on the AD carry unless you're super far ahead? And they've decided not quite to do your tactic, but instead to go for a very similar tactic of hide in the fucking bush. As they do come down onto this lane, they're going to try and get in onto Quinn. They do get the knock up onto her there, but they're not going to be enough. Vi finds herself in the middle of 3 champions. Garen coming down from the north there. Not a bad Sona ultimate, and they're going to take down Vi, but she has the Zilean ult on top of her. It's good Lux ultimate, takes a lot of damage. Janna goes down. Vi is back up in the middle of the fight, and their attention to Lux. A lot of damage going down onto Garen, and he blows up under a Zilean bomb. Veil flush from Lux makes her go down in the background there. Caitlyn and Zilean still both alive here, but they're closing down. And that's going to be...
Sona dead.
Yep, Sona dead, but we see Xin Zhao trying to get in here, gets the knock up onto Zilean. He knows that he doesn't have his ultimate. Quinn there in the background is just going to escape from Caitlyn there, but Xin Zhao finds himself on the wrong side of Caitlyn. These two could take her together.
Up, as far as I know.
Yes, she does, over on the side. Gets stopped on the trap. Piltover coming across, and Jayce meanwhile is on the top lane alone, taking that turret that you were talking about earlier, so... Caitlyn being very ballsy.
We're very happy to have a team fight here and leave the Jayce split pushing, or leave the Caitlyn split pushing.
And that was important to notice, that there was a 5v4 team fight, but it felt like 5v5 because when Vi went down, the Zilean ultimate brought her back up, and she came back at nearly full health. The health that you return with from Zilean ultimate is based off his AP, and he has enough AP. Oh, flash from the Jayce there, doesn't manage to dodge the ultimate, but
he is going to escape.
Yeah, will make enough range.
Oh no! Coming in.
Oh, we got Vi there as well. She doesn't have her ultimate just yet to lock them up under turret, but I don't think they want it either way, and that's unfortunate there. But they didn't lose an inhibitor, so that's not too bad for Demacia. Not too bad at all. They're still only
have that middle in a tower.
Yeah. But I do feel Piltover are definitely struggling to close this one out a little bit. They're not able to
they're not taking it as quick as they have done previous games, but as you say, they are itemizing. They've got a lot of damage on their team. I mean, a Bloodthirster and Infinity Edge, Their builds are looking a lot more complete than Demacia's.
Yeah, I'm still not a fan of this Lich Bane onto the Lux build, at least not on a first item. She has picked up a needlessly large rod now, and that is showing in her damage. She needs to be able to put down significant poke damage to make this team back off, or at least create some zoning potential. Before, she wasn't dangerous enough. She is getting to that point, though. Garen, on the other hand, is going for quite a damagey build. He's got a Hex Drinker, which is sort of half and half, and a Brutalizer, which is definitely more aggressive than it is, but he's only got a Chain Vest for armor, really, so he isn't the tankiest Garen you'll ever see, so he will struggle to get in there. Also, Xin Zhao, not very tanky at all, opted for that Spirit of the Elder Lizard, much like Vi on the other side, but he doesn't have a Zilean ultimate to revive him later on.
Yeah, I mean, that's really a massive advantage for Piltover, that Zilean ultimate.
Oh, and they get the engage down onto the Caitlyn there, but she gets the Zilean ult, and she's willing to stand and fight. Xin Zhao does pop the Zilean ultimate there, and Caitlyn goes down in the middle of it. Good Sona ultimate onto 3 of them there. Garen in the middle of them gets ulted up by Vi. Quinn in there doing some damage, and they do take Caitlyn down for the second time. Garen in the middle taking a lot of bombs, and he goes down as well. They get some damage down onto Vi, and she goes down as well. They're trying to get round onto them. Quinn over the wall onto the Janna, but she's got a bomb on her head. She flashes away. And she dies to the Zilean bomb, which is just too strong. Jayce has come in from the top and also taken down Xin Zhao. Zilean and Janna return to the fight and look like they want to chase down Sona. Zilean decides not to. Oh no, I see Jayce is chasing the Lux in the top there, and Lux goes down as well, so that was a bad fight.
It looked like Demacia were doing fairly well then. You know, Garen managed to focus the Caitlyn down very well, very quickly, get his ult off on a killer, but, you know, they were all still alive. You know, you had that Zilean ult giving the Caitlyn a second wind. You had the Jayce almost unfocused, and you had the Janna doing the best she could all through that to keep everyone alive.
Zilean and Janna here are doing work to support their team. Like, don't get me wrong, Zilean's bombs are wrecking people as well. But Zilean's speed and his timing on his ultimate, it's like as soon as he ulted onto that Caitlyn, she knew that she was out of position and she was going to die. But she knew she had the ult, so instead of just running and prolonging the time she died, she turned around and laid down damage. Sona had a very good ultimate there. She just missed the Caitlyn, hit it just before she revived from the Zilean ultimate, but nonetheless she caught 3 people. And a fight goes sort of that well for Demacia at the beginning to turn around at the end and eventually go to Piltover.
Yeah, I mean,
more bad news.
We are now looking at a 10k gold difference and a 6 tower difference, and the items are just getting way more out of hand in favour of Piltover.
Yep, it's Talismans of Ascension on both supports, but we see Janna has opted for that Royalized Crystal Scepter, so she's got mana, health, AP coming from that one.
Towards, what's it called? It's Zonya's Hourglass.
Yep. But meanwhile, on the other side, we see a rush of a Ruby Sightstone from Sona, who might get herself caught out by Jayce, but able to speed herself away. And also a Warden's Mail, because of the high amount of AD range damage they're doing. A Warden's Mail does make sense, but she's not able to itemize any damage. Her poke isn't doing anything, her heals aren't healing for as much as they could.
Yeah, definitely. But
and as you say, the items growing for Piltover, they're not growing enough for Demacia on the other side. Even if they were able to farm in these situations, they might be able to get items, but Quinn finds herself noticeably behind. She's opted for just pure AD, going for more of that, like, utilising her E damage. They get the Vi ultimate down on top of her. She's taking a lot of damage in the background, but she does survive. We see Garen going into the back lane there, and he just gets wrecked, but Caitlyn stays alive, so that's unfortunate. Lux finds herself caught out outside of the base and goes down very low. Piltover pushing in strongly in onto this one. Oh, Q from Jayce there, just not able to pick up the kill, but they're going hard still, and that's a dead Sona with the ultimate, but they do pick up the kill onto Jayce. Zilean goes down, but with his ultimate on, exhausts down onto Xin Zhao and Caitlyn ult as well. Vi still trying to chase this kill. Her and Lux are very low. That's a bomb onto Lux, and that's a dead Lux, and a bomb onto Zilean. He will just survive, well, not just survive, he'll comfortably survive that one because he actually has the health regen of the Fountain on his side. But
yeah, interesting, we only saw Jayce go down for kills over there.
Yeah, and that was a very aggressive Jayce. Jayce had no business being that far under a turret chasing kills.
Yeah, that was
like
an excellent ult from the Janna though, separating the Garen from the rest of the pack and allowing them to get him down before they basically did the rest of the team fight. They knew he'd go in deep. The second he did, Janna just ulted, separating him from the rest of his team.
Yeah. And this Janna has been pretty flawless in their play thus far. Janna and just overall has been a major crutch Piltover has
But also,
relied
the
upon.
Piltover team seems to synergize very well. You know, we've seen the Zilean going down at the right times. The people he's using them on are realizing that it's on and getting themselves killed.
And he's got himself a Zhonya's as well now, so he doesn't have to worry like he has in previous fights that after he's used it on someone else, he'll get focused down and killed. Instead, he can Zhonya's. And yeah, I'm kind of glad that we have a less full AD Vi build going on. It's been maybe a sign of how well Piltover have won their last games. The Vi's have built pretty much Bloodthirsters, Spirit of the Elder Lizards, Last Whispers, and just blown people up as sort of this kind of engage assassin weird. But Trinity Force still sort of damage, but it gives you a nice round sort of all the stats. And the Warmogs, which don't see them often anymore, but at least it's a tank item and not a Bloodthirster. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a massive fan of the Warmogs. Not always on Vi, but I love me a Warmogs.
Yeah, that you do. There is a ward down here, spotting them gathering near Baron. They will spot it out with the red trinket. That's the thing as well. We only see one red trinket. The support of Piltover, the Janna, has decided to upgrade her Greater Vision totem to one that places a pink ward instead of going for
been interesting this season. Not sure how I feel about it, but it's definitely made the warding situation different from what it was before.
Yeah, I think people are still adjusting it to this day. Like, loads of people who play solo lanes and stuff are used to warding for themselves, but not warding so much into the late game as it were, because you just rely on the ward dispenser Janna as she flashes in onto Lux, and Lux gets deleted, and Sona shortly follows, uses her ultimate. But that isn't going to mean much, and that's probably going to be game in favour of Piltover. Garen pretty much given up the fight there.
Now.
Yeah, and they're just going to go in there, and even this not incredibly tanky Vi just takes both the turrets, and very quickly going down under the heavy AD damage. Jayce chasing more kills there, trying to get... he doesn't get the kill onto Xin Zhao there, but Caitlyn...
the Vi flash and still go down.
Oh, poor Vi, and there's the end of the game there. GG, Piltover go 4-0 in their last games, and the first team to go 4-1, so they will now sit at 4-1 at the top of the league until we see Noxus and Freljord play, of which Freljord are the next match actually, against Bandle City, now I remember. And Demacia don't go down to a bad position, but they are 3-2, meaning that they are being left, they are not in as good a position, they're not joint first anymore, there we go, I don't know what I'm saying. But, yes. Well played by Piltover.
From both teams there, but Piltover, I mean, that Janna and that Zilean were doing work.
Yeah.
The Vi was playing very effectively. Just an excellent game.
Yeah, it's the reason why Piltover has won their last 4 games, is this in strong power to just push down lanes and just win their lanes from the start and never really let it go. But well played by all, and we will be back shortly with game number 2 of the evening.
See you soon.